hand.
Stop!
Robert Byrd, I get an idea, is going to have his hands filled tonight. Guerrero's a tough guy, and at some stage he's going to try to rough this guy up. That's got to be his fight plan at some stage.
But he'll have to do whatever he can to disrupt the comfort level of Mayweather, because once Mayweather gets into that, he's been almost impossible to hit. It usually takes a couple rounds for him to settle in.
Usually the guy hanging onto the head is Robert Guerrero, but it was Floyd Mayweather that time. And Robert Byrd, the referee, said, hey, no hanging on. Pretty even through the first minute and 15 seconds of this round. Tying up on the inside and fighting with the free hand. The southpaw and the right-handed fighter. When they do that, they both have their power hand free to blast at each other.
Guerrero nailed him there.
Caught him with a shot, and I thought that the legs might have buckled of the champ. Caught him with a shot, and I thought that the legs might have buckled of the champ.
Good body shot by Guerrero.
Neither one of these guys have ever been down in their career, by the way. Sneaky right hand lead by Floyd, another right hand lead. Good body shot by Guerrero. 50 seconds, 49, 48, 47 seconds to go in the first round. So far, just what I expected. The Guerrero to be very, very competitive. Little misstep there. By the champ, Floyd Mayweather.
Guerrero trying to invest in later rounds with a couple of these nice body shots to Mayweather, trying to slow him.
Powering with the front hands, looking at both of them. Floyd goes with the right hand lead, and then Guerrero answers with a couple of body shots. Closing seconds of the first round here, and not a lot between the two of them. I'm going to put that down on my score sheet as 10-9 for Guerrero. This is round 2, and it's a chess match so far. Haven't noticed any ring rust or lack of hand speed in Floyd Mayweather. He got a clip in the chin that time.
It's important for Guerrero to send his messages early to Mayweather in terms of power, not let him get in that comfort situation. But what Mayweather is doing is pause out there with the jab for a little range, and then pot shots with the right hand, and then usually doesn't get hit. But Guerrero is able to hit him off of that right hand. And one reason is Mayweather is moving straight as opposed to the angles.
Now Robert Byrd is letting them go a little bit on the inside before he stopped them. As you saw, the good 10, 12, 15 seconds that he let them battle on the inside. That's got to be to the advantage of Guerrero if Robert Byrd continues to allow that to go on, as long as they have one hand free. Very quick as Floyd Mayweather, to the amazement of the crowd in attendance. Mayweather, of course, in the gold trunks, and Guerrero in the red trunks. They mix it up in the corner here, halfway through round 2.
It's a good right hand lead by Mayweather.
And again, a round in which is not too much separating the two men. See, Mayweather, as Dave said, gets position with the left hand and then pops the right hand in there. With it again.
That's vintage Mayweather too. With that right hand and then setting the tone, and he's so quick he avoids getting hit in retaliation. But he's already been nailed a couple times by Guerrero. Giving an indication maybe Guerrero will be able to do some things in this fight.
And in that one body shot that I separated the first round with, it was right on top of the liver, and that will get the attention of anybody, especially a 36-year-old fighter. Guerrero continues to come forward. But that's the style of this man, Floyd Mayweather. He's a counter-puncher and a great defensive fighter. The best ever, many say, including myself. So slick.
Another example of it. Left hook and then backing up out of harm's way with the quick feet. But I think he will get hit a little bit more in this fight than the average. Maybe he chooses to make it that kind of style.
And he caught Guerrero just at the bell. Guerrero smiles at him. Here we go to round 3. MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan with Dave Bontempo. Floyd Mayweather, gold and black trunks. In the red trunks, Robert Guerrero. Even fight so far. Gave Guerrero ever so slightly the first round and Mayweather the second round. Mayweather reaches him with that right-hand lead again. That's been a successful weapon tonight for him.
And look, here's Guerrero putting all kinds of pressure on and Mayweather darting out of harm's way because of the infinite edge he has in the reflexes. He's able to get away with breaking every kind of rule you could have in throwing a punch because he can dart out of that combat zone.
Step out, step out, step out.
He even throws a lot of right-hand leads against the righties.
But he's especially enjoying it here.
No,
he goes to that sneaky right hand again when Guerrero was coming in with his head down. Mayweather catches, slips out of the way. I mean, this guy, at 36 years old, I don't see any slowdown. I certainly don't see any ring rust.
No change in the reflexes as he jabs and darts away from the counter. And then scores with the lead right hand.
Stop. Step out. Let's go.
Guerrero just continues to try to pressure him, and Mayweather just pot shots.
Well, Mayweather is on the verge of gaining that comfort zone we talked about, so Guerrero needs to take that away from him with pressure.
This guy feints left, comes to his right, walks to his right, bounces off the ropes of the right-hand lead, which puts it back in the center of the ring. Now he paused with the left hand. But, I mean, it's a giant. I mean, he snaps the left hand off. I mean, look at how well he's boxing right now.
And look at the feet. Mayweather, as he scores the right hand here, can take 2 quick steps, throw the left hook, and then get out of the way.
See, this is just terrific boxing by Mayweather. I mean, Guerrero is making this a fight, but Mayweather just showing his hand speed. He didn't slow down a bit as far as I can see. A lot of people thought he slowed down a bit against Cotto, but boy, he didn't look like he slowed down much here against Robert Guerrero.
Yeah, he chose to make the Cotto fight more of a straight-in type of a...
Guerrero caught him with one really strong liver shot in the first round, and that might have been the only difference in the first round. And from there, Mayweather, masterful boxing as Guerrero continues to put the pace on. He reminds me, he must have watched the Rigondeaux the other night, because he's fighting a lot like him right now.
He could stay on the outside, score, and dart away, but there's purpose to his movement.
Oh, yeah.
Part of it is the escape, the first part of it, but then he can go back on a different angle and be first off the mark. But with Mayweather, the punching is one thing, but it's the movement and how he gets back into punching position, which is one of the elements of his genius.
He got caught with a shot there, and then he answers right away to negate anything that the judges might have been thinking about, leaning towards Robert Guerrero in this round with a minute gone. First minute of the round goes to Mayweather. Guerrero comes in and misses. This is getting frustrating for him now. We're only in the 4th round.
And when you're fighting him, you're not used to a guy that can circle around, take the long route quickly, and then come at you from an angle. Usually you attack a guy and he'll often have to reset. But Mayweather can punch, reset, get back into punching position in a split second's time. And that's what makes him so hard to fight.
reflexes look terrific to me tonight. Guerrero really has to be frustrated right now by this guy.
Off the move, we often see the left hand from Mayweather. Circling from this side, you usually see the right hand. Is that what we'll see next? He's luring Guerrero in.
This time he just decides to stay on the rope and bangs Guerrero to the body. And now he exchanges with him out of the corner.
This is what he did against Cotto. He said voluntarily to try to make it more entertaining for the public.
I don't buy that for one instant.
No, but he was trying to sell it. But he did voluntarily put himself in the corner against Guerrero. No need to do that.
He really did it, and he did it right again. But, I mean, the obvious difference in this is the hand speed, which is phenomenal from the 36-year-old fighter. There's no loss in his hand speed that I can see or detect whatsoever in the closing seconds of the fourth round.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Got a bell, guys. Time!
Junior, masterful boxer that he is, showing his wares tonight. Doesn't show the age of 36 whatsoever to the 30-year-old Robert Guerrero, who's trying to force the fight as best he can. Trying to put as much pressure on him as he possibly can. Floyd, of course, in the gold trunks with the black trim. Red trunks, the Ghost Guerrero.
Guerrero needs to fire the body shot right after showing this jab, but he walks into a smart right hand while he's debating where to go.
You know, sometimes Mayweather has the left hand extended. You think that's all there is, and then all of a sudden there's about 4 more inches left of it, and he chops him with the left hand, and then he comes right back at him with the right. And then Guerrero coming in that time, and he gets like speed bag with the left hand.
Step out, step out.
And that goes to what all that we were asking about when you watch him in the locker room, hitting those mittens all the time. It's hand-eye coordination. He's so quick with his hands.
Hey, he can dart from one end to the other. One spot that he needs to throw punches into the next one. Get there first. He is always the first one to get into the next punching zone. And he could get there and fire in the same motion. He can slip a punch and then throw a punch. Now, once in a while he'll pay, but...
I mean, Guerrero landed a couple of shots in this round, but, I mean, look at that. He threw about 5 or 6 punches, and Mayweather just slips right out of that corner. Kind of like a greased pig at a fair. You can't catch him.
And yet, unlike a lot of guys that dart and move, Mayweather has enough on his punches to totally discourage his opponents, slow them down.
And you just look at the face of Guerrero now. He's got a mouse underneath each eye. Well, he's landing some shots. Mayweather, you know, he's dictating the flow and pace of this fight totally.
Mayweather will not hit you with a lot of punches that are 10 in the power department, but every right hand he hits you with is at least 7.
And he hits you with so many of them during the course of a round. I mean, how many is that in this round? 7, 8?
Yeah, and all, he's got the weight distribution, so he's able to put that in there and quickly turn what looks like an off-balance shot into a power punch.
He waits now, he waits. And he jumps out there with that right hand, and there's the bell. End it.
All you gotta do, man. You the boss of this. You run this.
Take a look at more vintage Floyd. Makes them miss and makes them pay. Instantaneous recognition of the punching opportunity. Then the big right hand, he ducks away, and look how quickly he is back in punching position. He senses it.
It's extraordinary. And I don't know if you folks could hear it at home, but his dad, Floyd Mayweather Sr., who's training for this fight, says to him, you just do what you're doing. I mean, he said, this is just going just the way you want it. He said, this guy's an amateur. Oh, they're thrilled in the corner what they're seeing of Floyd Mayweather. and Floyd's got to be pretty happy with himself so far. We start the second half of the fight as we go to round 7. And at this stage, you got to look for Guerrero, elbows, heads, different things, because he's got to be a frustrated fighter right now as he walks into a right hand. This guy's getting beat to the punch, and a guy that's got as much grit and has been through as much in life as this guy has can't like it. Nobody likes to get beat up, especially a prize fighter with this guy. And I disagree with the fact that he's an amateur fighter. Very good fighter. But who's in the league with Floyd Mayweather?
And when he hits you with that first right hand,
watch your head, watch your head, watch your head.
It's powerful enough that in most situations, if he wanted to, he could throw combinations. You don't see many combinations from Floyd Mayweather. You see a pot shot, and it's a work of art, and he sets up the next shot. And normally, if you're fighting a guy and you can't catch up to him, odds are he's not hitting you that much either. But Mayweather changes all that. You can't hit him, and he can hit you.
The first time, Floyd had something to say to Guerrero before Robert broke him up in there.
Punch and get out, guys. Punch and get out.
Again, the ref allowing them to fight on the inside, which I like. They are one man free, and he's letting them use it. A lot of jockeying on the inside. And this might be cruising time for Floyd. If you notice, for a second, Guerrero actually went southpaw, jabbing with his right hand, trying to do something to try to catch up with this guy. Robert lets him fight on the inside again, saying punch and get out.
That's why we'll see a little bit of Mayweather to the body. That's one thing we have not seen a lot of in this fight tonight. Body work from Mayweather. It's pot shot, open, seasoned to the head.
He waits, he holds his position instead of pulling out that time. He changes everything up. You just don't know what to expect. It's hard to time anything with this guy. Just when you think he's going to pull out, he'll stop and plant and throw back at you. And this is a round that I think that Mayweather, you know, kind of coasted a bit on, but he still did plenty. Again, scheduled for the championship, 12 rounds. At stake, the WBC and vacant Ring Magazine 147-pound championship of the world. That's the welterweight division. Floyd Mayweather to the right of your screen in the gold trim on his black trunks, or maybe you want to call them gold trunks with black trim. And in the red and white is the ghost Guerrero, who hasn't been much of a ghost for Mayweather tonight, as he pot shots up again with the right hand. Is it time for Guerrero to try and rough this guy up? And nothing is going his way.
You get to focus on different things with Mayweather. A little bit of a break between one activity and the other. A split second, but not with him. So he's accomplishing two things at one time, his movement and the punch. And that's what is a separator for him.
And meanwhile, while neither fighter has been down and nobody visibly shaken, the left eye of Guerrero is starting to get busted up by those right hands, and just by sheer number of those, as Dave Bontempo points out, there's 7-point Richter scale right hand punches. Reaches downstairs. There may be a cut above the left eye of Guerrero. There's certainly blood on that side. I don't know if it's from underneath or up above, but Floyd continues to just pot shot right on top of it. There's one of those examples where he puts the arm out and then all of a sudden there's 3 or 4 more inches left. Nice uppercut.
We'll see some body work from Mayweather, which is the one thing that hasn't been in his attack tonight, because the right hand pot shots to the head have been there.
Boy, these solid right hand shots to the face of Guerrero. Now he goes downstairs and bends Guerrero right at the waist. And you look for the uppercut. Everything is going perfect for Floyd. It's hand speed, Dave. I mean, he's just masterful with that hand speed. He hasn't lost any of it. It doesn't show in this fight at all if he's lost any.
And he's doing things you really cannot teach a fighter, because you can't teach a guy the instinct of how to see all the opportunities that are there. This is instinct. This is all rhythm by Mayweather.
You know,
instantly size up what's there.
Yeah. Oh, look at the right hand there. The crashes to the eye of Guerrero. That eye is going to be very, very sore, and it's closing right up. Floyd tees off, and the crowd gets into it as he lands about 3 or 4 hard ones leading up to these closing seconds of the round.
This is a very good body shot, too.
Yes.